Your summer plans to jet off to a vacation may not be hit too hard, since the elevated airfares seen in the wake of Go First cancelling all its flights until May 19th may not last as long as was previously feared. That's because Go First is expected to restart flights by May 24th. However, it will do so with 23 aircraft instead of the 27 it was operating till May 2nd. The Wadia Group-owned airline has informed the Civil Aviation Ministry it would be able to restart operations in 2 weeks and is mobilizing funds. It had filed for voluntary insolvency before the National Company Law Tribunal on May 2nd and stopped its flights from May 3rd. Go First had also officially suspended the sale of tickets till May 15th. Finally, on May 10th, the National Company Law Tribunal accepted Go First's insolvency plea. The ruling allows Go First a moratorium of 6 months. During this time, the airline will continue to be in possession of the nearly 45 of its 55 aircraft that were to be taken away by the lessors. Experts say that with the lessors not being able to take possession of the aircraft, the airline may have a reasonable chance to resume operations. The NCLT also appointed Abhilash Lal of Alvarez & Marsal as the Interim Resolution Professional or IRP to take charge of the airline. Regarding the NCLT order, Go First Chief Executive Kaushik Khona said that it was a historic ruling that would prevent a viable airline from becoming an unviable one. But has its flight towards revival taken off? And will it be smooth or turbulent?
There are many challenges for Go First going forward, even during CRP. They are in custody of these aircraft not as owner but as under lease agreement, which has other obligations, also corresponding obligation to pay rentals or lease rentals and other dues as per the terms of the lease the agreement. So even if they have custody, there is liability, and this liability continues during CRP period. There is no moratorium on liability which are incurred during CRP period. There is moratorium on recovery of pre-CRP dues. So it's a very, very challenging time for even for IP of Go First or lenders or COC committee to keep the operation afloat. It will require huge amount of cash resources to be put in, whether the COC will be willing or whether any interim financer will be willing to put this money in a airline which is already facing such a difficult phase of its operation. It's I think I am not very optimistic about this.
Experts say Go First will need more funds from either its current promoters, the Wadia Group, or new ones to clear its dues. Despite the Wadia Group injecting close to 6,500 crore rupees in the airline since its inception, it has not been able to keep itself afloat. In its application to the NCLT, Go First said that on April 28th, it was in default of payments of 2,660 crore rupees to aircraft lessors and 1,202 crore rupees to vendors. Go First had said it filed for insolvency because faulty Pratt & Whitney engines had grounded about half of its 54 planes. The airline had won an arbitral award in Singapore against P&W, directing the latter to supply 10 serviceable engines by April 27th this year and 10 each month till December. According to Go First, P&W failed to comply with the arbitral orders. And Go First has reportedly initiated enforcement proceedings against P&W in the US. Meanwhile, a P&W spokesperson has said that the allegations by Go First are without merit and P&W will vigorously defend itself. For his part, the interim resolution professional has also been directed to pursue the arbitral award.
The future fate of Go Ahead depends and begins and ends with what Pratt & Whitney is willing to support. Right now, it makes no sense for Go Ahead to change the engine option to go for something else, like at least Indigo managed to do, because 90% of Go Ahead's revenue fleet is the Neo, whereas Indigo still has the older CO aircraft, which are far more reliable.
Following the insolvency plea by Go First, on May 3rd, the shares of Interglobe Aviation, SpiceJet and Jet Airways witnessed a surge. It was expected that Go's rival airlines, like Akasa Air, would also look to gain its market share. Now, with Go First likely to resume flights on May 24th, how things proceed on this front will depend on whether or not Go First can find more funds, deal with the engine issue, and address staff concerns. But amid the troubles at Go First, what does Indian civil aviation's future flight plan look like?
From a medium to long-term perspective, it does not bode well for the industry when there are repeated insolvencies. This leaves the industry in a state where there are few players, with Tata Group and Indigo controlling more than 80% of the market, and Tata Group having a monopoly on business class travel in domestic sector. In such a situation, it is always better from the pricing and service standpoint that there is healthy competition. An airline such as Go First, which has a proven legacy and branding, should not be allowed to cease operations.
Go First will also have to retain its pilots, who have been offered jobs by rivals, particularly Air India. Meanwhile, its lessors are seeking the quashing of the NCLT order, saying that it can't retain their aircraft. In fact, on May 12th, the National Company Law Appellate Tribunal will hear the plea filed by one of them, SMBC, in this regard.
If you like this video, share it and subscribe to Business Standard. For more news, views and insights, log on to www.business-standard.com. Do also follow us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Telegram and LinkedIn.